KPM.
Hello, you're watching Didik TV KPM for our Sukses SPM 2022 slot. And as usual, this slot is focused on techniques to help pupils excel and pass the examination, and also with the formatting as well. So before we proceed with this segment, let's first take a look at the teacher's profile. Now, you may have guessed that our subject for today is Bahasa Inggeris, focusing on speaking skill, but of course you also notice the teacher as well. And here she is with me, teacher Halimatul. How are you, teacher?
I'm fine, thank you very much, Shafika.
You're looking great. I'm fine as well. And before we proceed, teacher, I would like to introduce as well our sign language interpreter, who is none other than teacher Shamila Nair. Hello, teacher. How are you doing? Alright, she's from SK Pendidikan Khas Jalan Pil, Ceras, Kuala Lumpur. Thanks for being with us. Now, teacher Halimatul.
Yes, Shafika.
Speaking skills, what is the focus for today's class actually?
The focus is obviously on speaking. To speak, read and understand the questions and respond immediately, as how I'm going to explain later on as we progress in our lesson. I want not just my pupils who are with me today, but also all the pupils out there throughout Malaysia, from Sabah, Sarawak, all the way to Perlis. You guys must open up and speak.
Right, and before we start, as you mentioned, our pupils. So let's have them here in the studio with us.
Hey.
Hello, girls.
Hi, girls.
Wow. Can we please know them one by one by you, please?
All right, for today, I would like to get Xuanlin to introduce herself and also her friends. Come on, Xuanlin. Because it's a speaking lesson, so I want to hear you speak.
All right, Xuanlin.
Okay, so I'll start off with myself. I'm Lau Xuanlin from SMK Pusat Bandar Puchong 1. The one on my right is Vinosha Sandrasegar. She's also from the same school. And the one below me is Doshrina. And also the one next to Doshrina is Tivya Laxmi.
Hi, girls. How do you feel today?
I feel good today.
Good.
All right, thank you for that introduction, Xuanlin. Now, I believe they also have to get ready a bottle of water because they're going to be speaking a lot today.
Yes.
So without further ado, teacher Halimatul, let's proceed.
All right, thank you very much, my lovely host, Shafika.
Thank you.
Okay, let's start with our very first slide of the day. Okay, and of course, the reason why I have this up here is so that pupils and also teachers, because I know a lot of teachers, they are not aware, there are actually 4 papers that all the pupils have to sit for English language exam. Okay, and this one is known as the speaking exam, 1119/3. Okay, so when you see the code in your books, your reference books, or anywhere you get your materials from, you see, the moment you see 1119/3, that refers to speaking. Okay? All right. Now, I have this particular slide up here because I would like to highlight to everyone, especially my pupils at home, the fact that, and I've highlighted in green actually, okay, the fact that there is only 24 marks, even though it looks like, just 24 marks, but look at the percentage or wajaran in Malay, okay, because this is taken from the booklet that's produced by Lembaga Pendidikan Malaysia.
Okay.
In fact, it's available, anyone can have access to it to go and know more about what's the format of the current KSSM English syllabus. All right, so we have 4 papers. Stroke 1, stroke 2, stroke 3, which we are focusing on today, and stroke 4, which is listening. And if you look at number 5, I've highlighted it also. Every single exam is equal 25%. Okay, let me get back to the 24 marks.
All right.
Just now I went, yeah, people will say, hey, it's just 24 marks. Oh, nothing much. But those of you who are gifted in maths, unlike me, okay, you can know that that's the most important of all the other skills. Because, can you imagine, 25%, not 25 marks, all right? 25% falls 100% heavily on the 24 marks that you will be awarded.
Right.
How are you going to get those marks? I will explain more later. But right now, if you look at the other papers, paper 1, 40 marks, paper 2, 60 marks, paper 3, 24, and paper 4, 30 marks. So even though it looks like, wow, the writing paper carries a lot of marks, 60, which is true because you have 3 questions to answer, 3 essays to write. But we only take 25%.
Yes.
So even if you score the perfect 60, it will only be 25%. I think if the girls can quickly do their marks, or their maths, okay, they will know that what is 25% of 60? I don't know because I didn't do the maths. Maybe some of you guys at home can respond to that. But what I'm trying to say here and highlight and really make it clear to everybody out there, for each mark that you get for speaking, you will get equally 1%. Okay, so if you do not speak, if you just remain silent, because I know a lot of pupils, it's not just in Selangor, because I'm also, all teachers are also assessors actually nowadays. Every teacher will have to go out and assess or be an interlocutor at the school. We will have to give marks. Every mark counts, and from the experience that I had last year, Shafiqah, and I was in a school around my area, which is Puchong area, Subang area, you know. But I've had a lot of pupils who do not even want to respond to basic questions. And we couldn't award any marks at all. And for me, that is such a shame because it's 25% from 100%.
Right.
Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please, please, please speak. Okay? All right. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a basic checklist, which we'll look at the end of the show also. You need to know the structure of the test. You need to know how many questions you're going to get. Okay, so we're going to look at them today. All right, and make sure you answer all the questions. You need to prepare, but you do not need to memorize answers. And you can't actually memorize, Shafiqah, because we don't know what questions are going to be asked. The questions will be based on the themes that the students or the pupils have been exposed to throughout their schooling years from Standard 1 until Form 5. But we cannot target on any question. So pupils need to be aware of what's current, issues that are among the one that's trending among them, and normally it will be questions that are related to their basic life. Okay. And most importantly, keep an eye on time because you're given very, very, very limited time to respond. And of course, last but not least, but very important, breathe.
Keep breathing.
Yes, get that zen. Don't, get too animated, speaking too fast. You might stumble upon your words. So just keep a good pace. That's why it's very important that you practice, because practice makes
progress.
Definitely. Okay, and of course, practice makes perfect too.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, this is the structure of the test. If you have a look at the slide that I've put up here, there will be 3 parts in the speaking exam. Okay, the total time that should take and will take is between 12 to a maximum of 15 minutes because examiners cannot sit and wait and wait and wait, because we have to be fair to all the pupils around Malaysia. When you are sitting for your real SPM speaking test, you will get the same questions as you will get to those pupils who are in Kelantan or in Pahang, all right? And the timing is the same. So the examiners and the interlocutors must keep to the time. So within 12 to 15 minutes maximum, All right, you'll get 3 parts. Part 1 is just a warm-up part where you'll be asked basic questions, okay, to get you comfortable, because I know a lot of pupils will find speaking very, very daunting and they are shy. So we'll ask them simple, basic warm-up questions, okay? And when you move on to part 2 and part 3, that's where you will be given marks, okay? All right, I will explain more about the structure in detail as we go into each part, but for now, I would like to get some of my pupils to start them to warm up. Okay, let's have Tivia.
Alright.
Okay, these are some basic questions. Imagine, Tivia, I'm your examiner now. Hello, good afternoon. I'm Cikgu Halimatul and this is my colleague, Cikgu Shafika. She'll just listen to us.
Alright.
First of all, we'd like to know something about you. Candidate A, what's your name?
Hello teacher, my name is Tivia Lakshmi Purbalasingham.
Thank you. And candidate B, okay, let's have Shrinli as candidate B. What's your name, candidate B?
Hello, I'm Lao Shen Lin.
All right. Candidate A, where do you come from?
I'm from Puchong Perdana.
All right, thank you very much. And candidate B, how do you come to school?
I come to school by my dad sends me to school every day by car.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so and after that there will be a second phase where we ask basic questions and simple questions, as you can see here on the screen. And normally this is something that the teachers usually should do with their pupils in the classroom when they do the speaking activity or the speaking lesson with them.
All right, Teacher Halimatul, that was an example of a skit of what actually happens in speaking examination, right? There would be an interlocutor, that was
Yes.
you, and an examiner who just sits and watches,
Yes.
like me just now.
Yes.
All right, we'll be going for more practices after this, so stay tuned to Sukses SPM 2022.
Didik TV KPM. Didik TV KPM.
Hi, welcome back to Sukses SPM 2022 with me, Shafika, and also Teacher Halimatul for Bahasa Inggeris speaking skill. And for this segment, we are going to be focusing on practice, because practice makes progress, like Teacher
Yes.
said just now. So, what is the first thing that we need to practice on for the segment, Teacher?
All right, for this particular segment, which is phase 2 of the speaking test, all right, this is where you pupils or candidates, as we will address the pupils when they are sitting for the test, the candidates will be assessed from here on. Just now, in the first phase, it was just a warm-up to get you to feel comfortable with the interlocutor and also the examiner. And from now on, phase 2 and phase 3, you will be assessed. Okay, I'll get right back to what you mentioned before the end of the show of just now.
All right.
She mentioned about an interlocutor and also an examiner. Okay, just to remind all the pupils again, the interlocutor is the teacher who teaches you English. Normally, that's how the arrangement is like. So for example, I teach 2 Form 5 classes at my school. So I will be the interlocutor for my pupils unless I am asked to go out to be the assessor at a different school.
Right.
Now, the roles of the interlocutor and the assessor are more or less the same. Now, they are both teachers, and be very, very mindful and remember, both teachers will award marks, total of 24. 6 will come from the interlocutor and the rest comes from the assessor. So even though you think the assessor is just sitting there quietly listening, not saying a single word, not even a peep, she will be, or she or he, I'm sorry, she or he will be giving you the bulk of the marks. The interlocutor, your teacher, only gives you 6 marks, which totals up to 24.
All right.
So both of them are very important, and only one will be doing the speaking. And they will follow a script, as I have showed to Shafika just now. Okay, the script here is provided by the exam sedikit lembaga peperiksaan, and all the interlocutor must follow exactly what's given on the script. We can prompt. So if you are stuck, you get a situation, you're not really sure on how to respond, there are a few few questions that we can ask, but they are very, very, very limited. And the interlocutor they're not allowed to add extra information to get their pupils to speak. This is because we want to be fair to all of the pupils, all the candidates who are sitting for the speaking test. So it's very important for you to practice, because practice makes
Perfect. And progress.
And progress. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's move on to, again, I showed this just now to everybody.
All right.
But this is very specific. We are looking at part 2, individual response. You will be paired. It doesn't matter how you are paired, depends on your school. For us, at my school, we follow according to the name list, because we have so many pupils and it's very difficult to pair them with whoever they like. So from now on, pupils, especially Form 5, if you already know who your pair is, you should start working together. So you get a good partnership between the two of you, so you get comfortable, and especially during the discussion part 3, which I will talk more on later, you need to show the natural flow of discussion. Okay, so for individual response, you'll get basic questions that are very, very common to you. You will start with candidate A, you will start first, and candidate B listens. And you can even use your friends' cues or responses when you are asked to respond to the same question. So both candidates will be speaking, but the bulk of the answer will be coming from candidate A. So when candidate B is speaking, candidate A will listen, and candidate A will also respond to a question.
Okay.
All right, girls, so far, I'm sorry, it's quite a bit of information that you were listening. I hope everything's okay so far. Everyone all right? Give me a thumbs up. Is everything,
All
if everything's okay?
Let's see your thumbs up.
Yes, wonderful, great.
A lot of
Okay.
information, but very useful.
Yes, and I will be repeating them over and over again.
All
Okay?
right.
All right, so let's try and have a simulation of the actual exam. Okay? Right, so Shenlin, you'll be candidate A. I'm pairing you with Tivia. Tivia, your candidate B. Doshrina, your candidate A. And you are paired with Vinosha, your candidate B. Okay, Vinosha? Okay, let's start with the first pair, Shenlin and Tivia.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to read. I'm actually going to read from the script. In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it on your own for about a minute. You also need to answer a question briefly about your partner's topic. Okay? So time is very important. So if the interlocutor says you are given a minute, you will be given a minute, and we will have our stopwatch. But today I forgot to get my stopwatch, so I'll be using my handphone as a stopwatch. Okay, and when I do it in my class with my pupils, that's what I use. You will be timed. Okay, so be very careful of the time.
All right, for the first round, actually, we have Xuanlin as candidate A and Tivia as candidate B, right, teacher?
Candidate A, it's your turn first. Here's your task. I'd like you to talk about a birthday gift that you would buy for a friend. First, you have some time to think about what you're going to say. So this is where I give them 20 seconds.
Okay. All right, 20 seconds.
And I'm really timing them, as you can see.
Yep. All right.
So, as you can see on the screen, there are 4 questions there to help her to think of ideas. For able pupils, no problem. But for pupils who really need the time or help, these questions should get them to think of ideas to speak.
Okay, so these 4 points are must be referred to.
Yes,
I
to help.
see. Okay, all right.
All right. Okay, candidate A, it's your turn now. You have a minute to talk about the birthday gift that you'd buy.
All right.
Candidate A?
Xuanlin, your time has
yes.
started. All right.
So, since my birthday's friend is like my friend's birthday is around the corner, I would buy a notebook for her because recently she is going to sit for her SPM child exam lately. So she needs a few notebook to write her in order to write notes for the subjects that she is taking, and also to prepare her well for the child exam. I would buy in popular bookstore, which is the nearest popular bookstore. I will buy in the nearest popular bookstore, which is in IOI Mall. And
All right, thank you very much. Yes, yeah, thank you very
Oh,
much.
the time is
All
up.
Yes, normally when the time is up, we will, if the students or the pupils or the candidates are, stuttering, we'll try and find the right timing, the right time to jump in to tell them, okay, it's time for you to
Alright.
finish off your sentence. So, okay, all right. Thank you very much, candidate A, for that response. Okay, now, candidate B, what about you? What gift would you buy for your friend?
For my friend, I would buy the series of Harry Potter because my friend is a big fan of Harry Potter. Plus, she loves the Slytherin. She's a big fan of Slytherin house. So, I would buy the series of Harry Potter books.
All right.
with
Thank you
cover
very
page.
much. Yes, thank you very much for that response. Okay, so that's basically it.
I see.
All right, for candidate A. So now let's move on to you, candidate B. Here is your task. I'd like you to talk about a place that you would like to visit in the future. First, you have some time to think about what you're going to say. 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Tick-tock.
All right. So they have about 20 seconds here?
Yes. Can you
Okay.
imagine just 20 seconds to prepare, looking at the questions that's on their booklet? Okay.
So just to ask you on a clearer scale, so these 4 are just as guidance, but you don't have to cover all 4.
Yeah, we don't.
Ah,
you
I
don't need
see.
to. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's 20 seconds up for you. Are you ready, Tivia? Okay. Now you have a minute to talk about a place that you would like to visit in the future.
I would like to go to Germany. Actually, it's not a place, it's a country. The reason why I like Germany is that I don't know why, because of the word Germany is like the country Germany is like my dream country. So when the moment I have to think like the best country is that the Germany, and then Germany is well known for sports shoes production, like Adidas, the brand, the famous brand. So my favorite sneakers and sports shoes is Adidas. So I want to go to Germany. I want to visit the Germany once, at least once. And
All right. Is that all? Okay. Thank you very much for that response, candidate B.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
All right.
candidate A, what about you? Where would you like to go in the future for a holiday?
I would like to go to Japan for a holiday. Why I would like to go to Japan is because Japan is well known for its scenery and its special and its culture. And I also heard that people there are quite polite
All
and
right.
also known as well mannered. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would like to go and experience that myself.
Okay. I hope you will, for both of you. Thank you very much, candidates. Okay. Actually, in the real exam, I cannot say such things. I cannot say, I hope you will visit
Yes,
Japan.
that's kind of like,
because you have to
motivation.
follow the script. Okay. We will do the practice with the other 2 candidates later on.
Yes.
But I just want to reiterate before we end this particular segment that as you can see just now from the performances of the 2 girls, they didn't really follow or respond to all the questions, but you can do so if you find that it's difficult for you to think of ideas. Okay?
Right, that's a good
All
tip,
right,
a
yes.
great tip for you to follow and keep in mind. Right, we're going for a short break as usual, and we'll be right back here on Didik TV KPM.
Didik TV KPM. Didik Didik TV KPM.
Alright, you're still tuned in to Didik TV's Success SPM 2022 with me, Shafika, and also teacher Halimatul. Today we are focusing on Bahasa Inggeris for speaking skill. And now, teacher, what is the focus for this segment now?
Okay, this particular segment focuses on the third part of the test, which is the discussion between the pair. Just now, in the second segment, as you saw, our first pair, Xuanlin and Tivia, yes, okay, they listened to each other's situation. They had two separate situations, and they listened in as their friend presented, and they also responded to the same or the similar question as what they heard. Okay, so that was individual, all right? And marks have already been given at that point. So I'm going to repeat again. Phase 1, no marks, but phases 2 and 3, marks is already given.
Okay.
Now, coming to marks, okay, how are marks being awarded? Obviously, all the examiners, assessors, interlocutors, they have gone. Last year, we already had our in-house training, okay, given by trainers, and the trainers got the information from the exam syndicate, from Lembaga Peperiksaan. We have set criteria, okay, that we have to study through and be able to understand before we start awarding marks. Now, there are 4 options or 4 different criteria that we look at. The interlocutor only gives 6 marks for overall performance. Okay, overall performance includes how the candidate present the points, confidence, grammar, vocabulary, everything. Okay, only 6 marks. So we have the set criteria. I cannot share them with you because we are not allowed to. But I'm pretty sure your teachers at school will inform you of all the main points or main criteria that we look out for. Okay, Shafika?
All right.
All right. Okay, next, the assessor will look at 3 different set of criteria: grammar, vocabulary, and also content. All right. So content refers to your points that you present. Grammar obviously refers to how well you know your grammar, your vocabulary. All right. And also, what was the other one? Overall performance, grammar, vocabulary, content. Okay, vocabulary refers to the choice of words that you use when you present your ideas. Okay, so that's how, in general, very basic, how the assessors and the interlocutors will assess each candidate. Okay, within a span of 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, now we are at our third phase. Okay, or part 3 of our test. As you can see on the slide, you or each candidate will get 3 questions, okay, which is merged into one idea or one topic, and it's pair work. So you have to work together, you have to talk to each other, and you must cooperate to know your roles. Okay. Now, what do I mean when I talk about roles? It's as simple as, imagine it this way to make it easy for you guys. If you ring your friend, you want to talk to your friend, you call or you go over to her house and you want to talk about a topic. Let's say, can you give me a current trending topic at the moment?
Football.
Football. Okay. So I go to your place and say, hey, what do you think about yesterday's match? I will have to initiate. I will have to start. Hey, Shafika, did you watch the match last night?
No, I didn't. I missed it.
Oh, you missed it. Oh, wow. You should have watched it. And then we will start our interaction. Right? So that's what people or candidates you need to do. You need to have that pair work and roles. Okay? Now, of course, this is a test, and you are given situations, but there's nothing wrong with you trying to start talking about basic things among your partner. If you already know who your partner is, just spend every day in class 1 minute, 2 minutes talk to each other about current trends or whatever it is, the current gossip, who's dating who, I don't know. Okay? All right, and if you look at the screen, there should be a good natural flow of exchanges, turn-taking, as what you saw Shafiqah and I did just now. I didn't really have to wait for her to respond. She just responded naturally because we were talking on the same topic. Okay? All right? And you have to keep the interaction going for 2 minutes. Okay? All right, now if you look at the next table, for 2 minutes you're going to talk to each other. All right? And for the next minute, you are going to decide between each other which main idea or main point related to the topic given is what you agree upon. Okay? And in purple, you will get a final higher order thinking skill questions that's related to the topic that you have talked about. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at what our situation is going to be for today. Okay, candidates. Okay, we're going to start with our second pair, Doshrina and Vinosha. All right. So I'm going to read the script now. Now, I'd like you to talk about something together for about 3 minutes. The task will have 2 parts. In the first part, you will discuss something with each other for about 2 minutes. Then, in the second part, you will have another minute to make a decision together. All right? Let's begin with the discussion task. Online shopping is gaining popularity in our country. Here are some reasons why people shop online and a question for you to discuss. First, you have some time to look at the task. Okay, so now they have 20 seconds also between the two of them. So in this 20 seconds, before I press the start button, so girls wait dulu, just wait, all right? You should discuss with each other quietly, but in English, please try not to use your mother tongue. To decide on, there are 6 options there. Who's going to talk about no trends? Okay, Vinosha? All right? Who's going to talk about better prices? All right, Doshrina? So there are 6. Now, you do not need to talk about all 6 points, okay? Because the key to getting a good mark for content, Shafiqah, is to be able to not just simply say, oh, people shop online because they follow the trend, and then you just stop there. You need to add on, elaborate with ideas. Okay? All right. Girls, any questions so far? You know what you need to do?
Doing good?
Okay. Yes. So there are 6 points to help them to talk about why people shop online. And now I'm going to give you 20 seconds to prepare for the discussion part. You have 20 seconds.
All right. Now, when we talk about the 2 minutes time that they have to have the conversation, in a daily life, 2 minutes is not enough to have a conversation.
Exactly.
So it should come naturally.
Yes,
this is something, like you said, we have to practice.
And of course, we have to give these pupils some kind of, in Malay, I would like to use the term masa kecederaan, simply means this is an exam, a test. And even though I have had experience with even natural good speakers, candidates who are good speakers, but because it's an exam, they get jitters, they have their points, but suddenly on the exam day, they are not able to respond.
Bring out the points.
Yes,
right.
So that's why need to practice. All right, okay, that's enough time, more than 20 seconds, but it's okay, okay, because we are practicing. All right, now, talk to each other about the reasons why people shop online.
All right, Doshrina and Vinosha.
Hey Doshrina, why do you prefer online shopping?
Yes, I do prefer online shopping. What about you, Vinosha?
Yeah, I do prefer online shopping too. Why do you prefer online shopping?
I do prefer online shopping because it has no crowds at all. Online shopping, if you go if I buy stuff through online, you don't have to wait in a long queue and everything. And especially during celebrations like Deepavali, Hari Raya and Chinese New Year's, there'll be lots of people who wants to buy clothes and all. So I think I could avoid crowds. What about you, Vinusha?
I agree with your point. I prefer online shopping because it is time saving. It is very convenient to do online shopping at home. You can do it right at your place, like at your bed. For example, it is very time saving. You can do it anytime. What
I
about
do
you?
agree with you. I do agree with you because we can just sleep in our bed with our pajamas on and then just look through or go through all that. I also think online shopping saves our money because they have lots of offers like the 11/11 sale and the 12/12 sales and all. You get so much of offers and discounts, so I think they have better prices and the quality of online shopping, the clothes are actually quite good compared to the normal ones. What do you think about it, Vinusha?
Yeah, true. We can save a lot of money by shopping online. Online shopping has also a lot of varieties, different varieties at different platforms. For example, Lazada has a different type of clothes and Shopee has different designs of clothes. So we can choose whatever in our preference to get nice clothes, nice designs for our occasions, for any functions.
All right,
You
thank you
agree
very
with
much,
that?
candidates. Yes, that was a wonderful response from you both. Okay, now, candidates A and B, you have about a minute to decide together which is the most popular reason people shop online. You have a minute to decide.
All right.
I do think the mostly people buy through online because it is cheap. Because like if you buy it, you just go and buy it normally from the mall. It is quite expensive and they don't have much choice. And like the shirts that you actually want, maybe like you want a blazer or something, it costs like 90 ringgit there. But then if you go and check online through Shades or Lazada, it is only 40 ringgit. So what do you think, Vinusha?
I think online shopping, I prefer online shopping because it's time saving. We can do it anytime while we are on work or any leave, so we don't have to take our cars and go to a mall, find for a shop and buy. We can just get it through online. So I think it's time saving. You can do it anytime, anywhere. Yeah.
You need to decide.
Yeah, Krishna. So which one do you prefer?
I prefer it is cheap because like I don't mind spending my time, but then if it is cheap then I think it is worth it. So what do you think?
Yeah, okay. And then I will go with that also because it's also a very important point that we can save our money via online shopping.
All right, thank you very much, candidates. Okay, before we end the test, I have a question for you both. We'll start with candidate A. In what ways does advertising on social media influence people's buying behavior? In what ways does advertising on social media influence people's buying behavior? We'll start with you, candidate A.
Okay, so the clothes that you find online is quite cool and it's following the trend. So people will be very interested to buy it, and moreover they might ask some models to advertise it. So the people like us will be like, oh wow, she looks good on it, so I will look good on it too. We will feel that. And sometimes they will even call some actors who we like and knows. So they'll be like, oh my god, Millie Bobby Brown is wearing it, so I should wear it too. So you feel that. So I think this is why it is affecting our behavior.
Okay, thank you very much, candidate A. Candidate B, what about you? In what ways does advertising on social media influence people's buying behavior?
advertising in social media, when they advertise through celebrities or any entrepreneurs or anybody, they advertise to them, it will take more place in people's heart because people tend to follow other people's way of dressing. So people like us will try to follow other people's trend. Like if it's more prettier, more beautiful, so we'll try to find them through online because we can't get it at the shops. So we'll try to find them at online. So that is how advertisement influences people.
Okay, thank you very much, candidates. That's the end of the test.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So to be honest, both of them ran over the time. So that tells me, I mean, they're still in Form 4, so it's okay. But you girls did really super awesome for all of them, okay? In Part 2, we had Shwenlin and Tivia. And in Part 3, we had Doshrina and Vinosha. It's just that from now on, you guys need to work on your timing. So it's quite helpful. So this is a tip for you guys out there. I'm going to repeat it again later in our last segment. It's quite helpful for you to have your own timer. Maybe a watch, a digital watch, if you can, so that when you start talking, you are aware of the time. Sometimes if you speak for only 30 seconds, that's not enough to get the marks that you deserve. All right? So if you speak too long or too short, it won't be a good thing for both of you, for both candidates, okay?
All right, teacher, that was a great example of what happens in the real test. Now, I believe one of our pupils also demonstrated how important it was to breathe and remain calm.
Yes.
That was, I saw from Doshrina, she was very calm in answering. Good job in that. All right, we'll be going for a short break now and we'll be right back here on Success SPM 2022.
Didik TV KPM. Didik TV KPM.
Welcome back to Success SPM 2022 with me, Shafika, and also teacher Halimatul for Bahasa Inggeris speaking skill. Now, this is the moment you've been waiting for, viewers, because we are going to be sharing tips and tricks when speaking. Now, I believe teacher Halimatul has already shared numerous amount of tips, but this is the ones to address your concerns now. Teacher Halimatul, you can take the floor.
Thank you very much, my lovely and always beautiful host, Shafika.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Just before we ended the third segment just now, I think I saw Shwenlin putting up her hand. Do you have a question for me, Shwenlin?
Yes.
Yep.
I do, teacher. My question is, I would like to confirm that is the time allocated for part 2 1 minute and the time allocated for part 3 3 minutes?
Okay, thank you very much. That's a very good question. Yes, you are correct. For part 2, which is the individual response, each of the candidates will only get 1 minute per candidate. All right, Shunli and girls, the rest of you. So just now, you're talking about a birthday gift, what to buy. So looking at all the questions that were given to you, you only have 1 minute to talk about what gift you want to get, where you're going to get it from, why you want to buy it, and why birthdays are important. Okay, if you respond to the questions. So you only have exactly a minute and you will be timed. And when the question is posed, the same question is posed to candidate B who is listening, okay, normally we'll give about 30 seconds, not more than a minute. And the candidate who is listening in, usually the response is a lot shorter. Okay, but you both are assessed at that time. All right. So as I have mentioned earlier in the beginning, must speak up when you are asked. Okay, girls. All right. Next, part 3. Yes, you have a total of 3 minutes for the both of you during the discussion part. Okay, you will be discussing as what Doshrina and Tivia did just now. They took turns. It was quite natural in my opinion. Maybe I think you guys need to practice a lot more. That discussion part is just 2 minutes. And as you notice, as soon as I ended the discussion, I gave the instruction to the girls to decide You only have a minute to decide. Okay, so now I'm going to stop for a bit here just to explain. Okay, when you decide on who is going to say which point and which point are we going to decide on, there are 6 points, right, Shafiqa?
Right.
So there are 6 points given to the topic. So this is where some kind of planning, okay, some kind of planning should be done before the test. So for example, I know who my pair is. Let's say we are paired together, Shafiqa.
Oh, you know beforehand?
Yes,
Oh,
you
that's
will know.
great.
Yes,
Okay.
you will, because pupils need to practice. Okay, it's not like suddenly, oh, you're going to be paired last minute. No, it's not going to work.
I see.
Okay,
All right.
so let's say Shafiqa and I, we are paired, and we have a plan. Okay, Shafiqa, we have 1 minute. I will ask you which point is the main point, and you give a response, and I will give one response. All right, but it's my response that you are going to agree with. You understand what I mean?
Yes, I
girls?
know.
Yes. So there must be some kind of understanding or planning so that you can come to a decision naturally without having to, no, I think this is, no, I disagree.
That's gonna be draggy.
Yes, it's going to be dragging. Okay, and these pupils, they need to employ all the phrases that you need to show that you understand the interaction, as you can see on the slide that I show, and I'm going to show a little bit more detail. Okay, you need to know phrases like, in my opinion, I believe, and what do you say? What phrases do you use when you want to disagree? Okay, so everybody, if you have a look at the hyperlink that I'm going to share now. Okay, so these are some sample phrases that you can use, but before that, let's just go through very quickly. When you speak, you need to remember that speaking is great.
Wow.
Yes, what is great, girls? If you can see the screen, great. G for greet. Don't forget to greet your examiners. If they say good morning, you should respond good morning. All right, respond to what? Respond to questions, opinions, say thank you, and give appropriate feedback. Okay? And you can always repeat your partner's idea to reiterate and to also help you come up with your own ideas. Elaborate and expand ideas. Now I'm going to touch on some of the performances that the girls did just now. They would be scoring a lot better in content if they added more examples. Just now, one of them mentioned about, oh, better prices. And she gave an example about doing it on Shopee, etc. But maybe if you can give a real life example. For example, yesterday, I saw on that particular website, it was selling at da-da-da-da-da price. And then, before buying it, I decided to ask my friend. And she saw da-da-da-da-da-da, you know. Okay, girls, you see what I mean? So if you add on a bit more, you will get more marks for content, okay? And turn taking, be alert. Yes, A is for alert, and I think all of them were alert today. They were very aware of what the questions were. And turn taking, and I think they all did beautifully well in turn taking, but it can be a lot more smoother if they do practice. If they practice among themselves. Okay, how to turn take. So here are some expressions that is commonly used when you are talking to each other. Introduce yourself. There are some examples here. I think you guys at home can see. I don't really need to go through all the examples here. And if you want to make a point, you can say things like, my main point is, okay, give an example. For example, I would like to suggest, and if you are asking for an opinion, what do you think? And I heard the girls doing that just now, okay? And if you disagree, okay, so it's just the opposite to agreeing. I totally disagree. I don't think so. It's okay to show disagreement, especially in the discussion part, when you need to decide, all right? You can show partial agreement or disagreement when you are discussing on which point you want to choose, which is related to the topic that you're talking about. Right, for us just now, we were talking about which is the main reason why people shop online.
Right.
Okay, so there are so many other functions in the parts of speech, and of course, you don't really need to memorize them all because, ladies and gentlemen, pupils all around Malaysia, you already know all these phrases. These are phrases that we use in our daily life. Oh, that's an interesting topic. Oh, I agree with what you say. And in the end, I would just like to highlight here a bit. The person who is controlling the situation, you need to conclude the discussion. So just now, Shafiqah and I, we have a plan. I'm the playmaker, so it's kind of like a football thingy going around. I'm the playmaker, so I'm the one who's directing the discussion. And when Shafiqah decides to agree with my point, that's when I will say a few, just one or two sentences. I can start off with, in conclusion, we both agree, in a nutshell, we agree that better prices is the main reason why people shop online.
Right, Teacher
Okay.
Halimatul.
All right.
Those are very good tips and tricks to excel in your Bahasa Inggeris speaking test. And also for those of you who still has to be reminded, it's 25% of the whole weightage.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you, Teacher Halimatul, for sharing us your
My
knowledge
pleasure.
and all the formulas to excel in this paper, and also Teacher Shamila for being our sign language interpreter. For those of you sitting for the Bahasa Inggeris test, good luck to you, especially in your speaking test. So until we meet again, Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Bye.